Welcome to the Worst of the Riot podcast. Coming up, what's the worst sport to play naked?
Also, the new surefire way to get out of trouble with your wife, and more on the Worst of the Riot podcast.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The Worst of the Riot, Radio U.
Good day. Welcome to Wednesday on the show. Of course, that means Battle of the Buzz action. Coming up here in about an hour, new music from Apollo Ltd. and 21 Pilots. It's going to be good. Stick around for that. Help us choose a champion today. Hello, Isaiah.
Hi there.
Let me tell you, Isaiah, my neighborhood right now is in disarray.
It's a mess, huh?
It's a mess. Not that it normally is array, but it is real bad right now. Everything topsy-turvy, all torn up. We have happening simultaneously, and I don't know if this was premeditated or not, but we have an electric company, a internet company putting in new, internet everywhere, for the whole neighborhood. Supposedly, I'll just say it's AT&T. They're putting in fiber. Supposedly, that's, I guess, good news. But they're tearing everything up to do it. Meanwhile, all of the streets are also about to get repaved. The first step to repaving the streets is digging up all the curbs, taking all the curbs out and redoing the entire connection between people's yards and the road.
Oh, you're getting a whole redo.
Yeah, a complete redo.
They're not patching things up.
No.
They're whole new road.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
It is when it's done. But in the meantime, right now, I can't park in my driveway. And Isaiah, we have a moat. You ever wondered what it's like to have a moat, from medieval times?
So now you have, because you don't have a curb anymore.
Yeah. I mean, they've dug it up. There's a trench between my house that I have to jump over between my house and the street.
Did you feel the streets were bad?
In certain stretches, yes.
As you complained.
They're pretty bad. I complained about the, this is funny. I complained about at the end of my driveway on the connection part.
Oh, where the moat is now?
Yeah, where there's now a moat. I complained a while ago because there was a big pothole there, and the city came out and surveyed it, and they said that was my responsibility.
Boom.
And so I never filled it because I was like, that's ridiculous. This is part of the sidewalk or whatever. And now it is theirs. I'm glad I didn't fill it because it just would have. Now it's gone. It's completely gone. Which leads me to my next point. I feel very bad for my neighbor that spends a lot of time gardening. It's her thing. She might be retired, but nevertheless, she spends a lot of time outside gardening. And in the process of digging up this moat, they've also dug up everyone's mailboxes, and around her mailbox was so many flowers. That it's springtime. She just planted them. They're gone.
Sounds like a bad plan. Bad timing.
I don't know what happened.
They had to have given them to her.
Maybe I didn't see.
They probably put her in her yard or something.
I don't know.
They didn't just throw away her flowers.
I saw her, and this is not an exaggeration. She was sobbing.
She was crying?
Yeah. Because they didn't give anybody. They gave it a couple days notice, and I started seeing people down the street. I looked it up. I was like, what's going on? And I couldn't find anything about it online. And then 2 days later, we get this notice. And then 2 days later, we have a moat. So.
At least you're getting new streets.
Yeah, faster internet, maybe. I don't even know if it applies to me or not. But in the meantime, disarray.
Nobody does it better. The Riot, Radio U.
I have a guy here in Germany. This is unbelievable. This man allegedly received 217 COVID-19 vaccination shots.
That's a lot of shots.
It's a lot of shots. What might you think would happen to somebody taking that many vaccine shots?
He's probably gotten COVID.
Believe it or not, as far as we know, hasn't gotten COVID this whole time. He has to be the only one. The only person. In fact, after going through an examination of his blood and saliva, there is no evidence that he was hyper-vaccinated. So basically, the COVID-19 shots did not negatively alter his immune system. Now, authorities definitely don't recommend anybody doing this, but they also found not really any ill effects of this guy getting 217 COVID shots.
And the thing that I don't understand, right, is every time you got the COVID shots, people always say you get sick.
Yeah.
You're telling me that he's gotten 217 COVID shots? He's must have been sick for the past 3 years.
Yeah.
The following day after one of those shots, isn't it supposed to be tough?
Yeah. I wonder if maybe that is how it is the first couple times, but like once you get to like the 80th time, maybe you just kind of, you've built up an immunity to the vaccination too. I don't know. I'm not sure about that. Now, the reason he was doing it, you might be like, I was thinking, oh, this guy probably wanted to be like super immune and was really afraid of COVID. And so he just kept getting, in what would be counterintuitive to most people, continuing to get the shot because he'd think it would make it more immune. But he was actually doing it for somewhat nefarious purposes. Apparently, he was starting this back in spring of 2022 is when he was first caught, that he was getting the shot over and over again so that he could make fake vaccine cards for people who didn't want to get the shot.
Got it. So he kept on getting vaccine cards and just selling those.
He wasn't even getting cards and reselling them. He was getting like the information because you need like batch numbers and stuff from the vaccines to actually legitimately, convincingly forge a vaccine card. And so that's what he was doing. So he was getting the information from the shots that he was getting and putting that on different vaccine cards for people who didn't want to get the shot.
So this was a business endeavor for him.
Yeah, it was. Mm-hmm. It was
Makes
a risk,
more sense that way.
risk he was willing to take. And I guess it didn't really pay off because he did get caught. And I don't know what kind of punishment you get for that in Germany, but
a slap on the wrist.
Yeah. What do they care? But 217 COVID shots later, and I guess he's fine. That is surprising to me. I would have thought there'd have to be some kind of negative effects.
Well, maybe they're coming.
Maybe one day.
You never know.
Yeah, I guess not.
The stories you love with the opinions you hate. The Riot Radio U.
Yesterday, a team that is currently known as the Oakland Athletics of Major League Baseball unveiled a first look, some renderings of their new stadium that they plan on building. They plan on making the move to Las Vegas sometime here soon. Isaiah, you got to take a look at these pictures. They seem to not be very well received online. The response, not that great. What do you think about them?
They look similar to out in Australia, Sydney.
Yeah.
I don't know what that thing's called.
That's the Opera House. I know exactly what you're talking about.
It looks just like that.
It does.
But just like a higher tech version of it.
Yeah.
It looks pretty cool. I think it looks pretty sweet.
Yeah. I was looking at this, and admittedly, in baseball, I'm a little bit of a traditionalist and a little bit of a snob, I feel, when it comes to baseball stadiums. This is not traditional by any means, but it is a cool stadium. It looks like it's indoors, which makes sense. It's at Las Vegas, trying to play baseball games outside in the summertime. That's lunacy. So it's indoors. It has what would be the biggest Jumbotron in baseball. The Jumbotron, it's basically like an IMAX screen. It goes over the entire outfield. And the stadium itself, if you were sitting behind like home plate or, really anywhere in the stadium except for the outfield, it all has a picturesque view of the strip in Las Vegas behind it.
Because it's like indoor, but it's outdoor.
Yeah, it's indoor, but like one whole side of it is just a window, a giant window. And then the covering is the Sydney Opera House style arches, the multiple arches that go over. You got to take a look at the pictures. We can send them to you if you want at 877-2-RADIO-U. But I don't get to the I understand why people are upset about the move. I feel like the if you follow along a little bit with baseball and the ownership of the A's and stuff, it does feel like they've done the fans in Oakland dirty. But that said, if this is going to be a new MLB stadium, this is going to be awesome, and it's going to get people wanting to go to a game because it looks so cool.
Yeah, it looks awesome, and I think too, a lot of people are hating on this, and I think the reason is because baseball has always been kind of like an old-time baseball feel, a very traditional sport. But so people are complaining because they think this looks too techie, too futuristic. But realistically, baseball, if you guys think the old-time feel is so great, which I'm for, I love baseball.
Yeah,
I love my Guardians. I love the Cleveland Guardians. But at the same time, that old-time feel is the same thing that's killing baseball every day. You guys you have not been the same thing that you were 20, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
So all of our old-time baseball feely fans, where are you at? You're not watching games.
Yeah.
So you're not making us any money. You're not making us any money. So what is this doing? Attracting a younger fan base.
Yeah. And you think about it too. If they tried to go too traditional, old-timey with a brand new team in a city that's never had baseball before, it would be fake anyways. So why would you do that? This stadium, if they can do this, if they can pull this off, obviously these are just the renderings of what it's supposed to look like one day once they build it. But if they do this, it'll be hard to say it's not the new coolest stadium in baseball.
It'd be pretty hard for them to put a traditional baseball stadium next to the Sphere in Las Vegas and Allegiant Stadium and all that. That would look ridiculous.
If podcast awards were ever a thing, this show wouldn't win any. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
A naturalism group in Pennsylvania making headlines for an event they have coming up. You know what naturalism is?
Naturalism.
Yeah.
Natural, baby.
Yeah. Could I have said that in a creepier way? You know what naturalism is? Could not be weirder. This Pennsylvania naturalism group, they have I'm not going to say the actual name of it, but they have a naturalism bowling night coming up.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah. Doing it.
For their little club.
Bowling in the nude.
What did he say?
Bowling in the nude.
Yeah.
That's what naturalism means.
Yeah.
Does naturalism mean nude? Nude.
Well, yeah, because that's how you are. You're naturally naked. I can feel like I can imagine one of their adherents saying this. It's unnatural to wear clothes.
No, it's very natural.
It's unnatural.
I feel very comfy right now in my nice little hoodie.
Yeah. It's coming up. It feels like a weird, it feels weird to imagine people bowling naked. I'll say it.
I mean, of all the things for them to throw a little fundraiser for.
Yeah.
I mean, why'd they pick bowling?
I don't know.
It seems like a really odd one.
That was the venue that would allow them to do it, I guess.
I guess they're all enclosed.
All the different fun little things you can do as a group. And the bowling place is the first one that said yes. The axe throwing place said no, you must be clothed. The
skating rink? The skating rink makes way more sense.
The roller rink.
The skating rink would be way better. Now that'd be funny.
Yeah. The ice rink or the roller rink?
I think roller.
Roller would be great.
Yes.
Yeah.
You get the right music on in there. A little disco vibe. I think that makes a lot more sense than the bowling alley.
Yeah. You think
seeing people fall naked way funnier than seeing people roll.
That sounds much more dangerous to me.
Seeing someone roll a gutter ball versus falling down while skating, I'd rather see them fall down while skating naked.
I just think naked bowling much less risky.
I know, but that's the fun of it, huh?
Yeah.
I want to see the
maybe as a naturalist, as a nudist, one of the things, and maybe I wonder if naturalists hate being confused with nudists because they're totally different.
Completely.
I don't know how, but they are. But maybe as a naturalist, as a nudist, you learn there's some activities you just don't, even as much as you want to be naked, you just don't do them naked. And I feel like skating might be one of them.
I think that's another one. Where I grew up,
Uh-huh.
we had a bowling alley,
Yeah.
a skating rink, and a pool all in one complex.
Uh-huh.
I think the skating rink and the pool both make for way more
The pool
sense.
makes way more sense. That's
Way more
probably
sense.
very common for that.
In the summertime, though, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
It's March. Obviously not. We're not ready for the good old swimming,
Yeah.
for the naturalist
Not in
swim.
Pennsylvania. What about, this is real trendy now, indoor skydiving. Have they thought about that?
You got the air.
Yes. All the ripples, all of the stuff flopping around.
But that's natural as it gets.
Yeah, that's right.
Indoor skydiving. That's a good one. You need to pitch that to them.
I think, I could bring in a whole lot of new members.
It says anyone who wants to shed their clothes needs to purchase a $25 ticket in advance. Does that mean that you can go and not shed your clothes if you don't pay $25?
And would you?
Who would?
Who would?
You would look
Because
weirder.
I imagine, like,
If you're the one guy not nude at the naturalist event, you're the weird one.
Are you frowned upon? Yeah, you're the weird one.
Yes, you're 100% the weird one. What are you doing there? You're not participating.
Yeah.
What in the world are you doing at the bowling alley?
It's one thing you show up to the bowling alley and you're like, oh, this is league night. I've messed up. I can't, not a lot of space for me. Way different. You show up on naked night. You didn't even know.
Jeff says you can't skate or bowl. You'd have to put shoes on.
Not complete. That's true.
But you're going to
Good
run
call,
around in there
Jeff.
barefoot?
Thanks for watching the worst of the Riot. Since you made it this far, you might as well like, subscribe, and check out riot.radiou.com for even more Riot.